slow walk in, not to be dramatic, but to highlight the artist here. Another Ashevillean, Warren Haynes, that was government mule. So, also does an amazing job of supporting this community. Fingers crossed, Christmas Jam 25 is going to happen. So my day job is that I am a partner at the CPA and business advisory firm called EMJS. We have 7 offices from the mountains to the coast. One of those offices is in Greensboro. And a couple days after, when we got some communication, they contacted us and they said the words, and I don't forget, they said, "What do you need and how can we help?" Yeah, right. And within a couple of days, they had trucks loaded with goods, and they stopped and they delivered those to our Asheville office, our Boone office, and our Marion office. Those same goods made their way into the community as well. One of my partners in the Greensboro office, who usually is really serious, he sent an email, and he said, "Just a challenge to the partners there is so that we can learn from this experience and be better prepared. What do you wish you needed?" And so the email started flying around, everybody started saying, "Oh, I wish I had a chainsaw, I wish I had a generator, potable water would be nice." And the thing that really struck us is community. An active community that cares about each other. And this rang true with what we heard in the weeks that followed, which was, "What do you need and how can I help?" My nighttime job is on a couple different boards. So I'm on the chamber board. I'm also on the board of memory care. In prior life, I spent 8 years on the board of the Arts Council. That board taught me the value of creatives in this community. And if you made it through this so far, really what I'm supposed to be doing tonight is introducing 2 creatives that have changed the face of this event tonight and done an amazing job. And the first one is DJ Molly Party. Molly's had a 20-year career in music, and she's performed at major events that you've all heard of around here. Leaf, Moogfest, Oasis Electronic Musical Festival, and Downtown Abbey 5. She is, the last 2 years, she's been recognized on Mount Next Awards as well for Best of. So congratulations. I just had a real quick notice. I was on her Instagram, and there was a sort of a breakdown of the beat that she was working on, and I immediately sent my 15-year-old nephew. And he texted me back and said, "Sick beat." The second creative that I'd like to talk about is, and you've seen his work tonight, and it's all these amazing videos that you've seen. And that is Take Two Collective and John Andres. And if this work, quite honestly, hasn't made you want to hug at least 8 people on your way out, then you might be a little devastated. Because it's pretty amazing. John and his wife Connie moved here in 2021, and we are so glad that they're part of this community. They do an amazing job, but his work with Take Two Collective spans films. He does branded content, broadcast creatives, and his catchphrase is, "The power of the story is boundless and unites us all." And they approach every project with curiosity. One of the big projects they had in the last 20 years was working on the 9/11, the big memorial that is in New York City. And he worked with a number of creatives that put together that exhibit. And it was interesting because I talked to him right before this because I wanted to meet him. I wanted to meet the man, the legend. And when I did that, it was really interesting because he just said, "I know you got a little script here, but just tell a story about that." But the thing that he said, which just really struck a chord with me, is when he was approaching that September 11th work, the whole time he wasn't thinking September 11th, he was thinking September 12th. And I love that so much because it was the next step, the moving on, and I think that fits really, really well with what we're talking about here tonight. So John, thank you for that inspiration again. I mentioned I was getting chills. So in closing, I'll just say, and I'll go back to the phrase that we heard ringing through our entire community, which was, what do you need and how can I help? And I'm going to flip the script on that a little bit. It's part of an echo that you heard from Vic as well, is what do we need and how can you help? And what I mean by that is, what do we need as a community? And so how you can help with that is talk to all of your friends, especially your out-of-state friends, your out-of-town friends, and just let them know we're still here, we're still funky, we're still cool, and we're looking for business.